Great to be here at SlatorCon Amsterdam with Hartmut von Berg. Hartmut is the head of localization at LogMeIn. So Hartmut, I know your organisation has gone through quite a lot of changes in terms of going through a spin-off in 2016 and a merger a year later. How have these organisational changes shaped the journey of the localization team at LogMeIn?
Oh yeah, well, first and foremost, they brought me into the game of localization. At that time, when the spin-off had been announced, and we had to prepare and spin up and ramp up a complete localization organization to support that new company, I was an engineering leader. And I had nothing, or literally nothing, to do with localization at all. But there was a coincidence that one of the experienced localization project managers was co-located with me, and she was responsible for localizing part of the products that were part of the spin-off. So I was asked to take over management and build up this function. And so we pulled up our sleeves and started to ramp up this function with a bare minimum of resources. We added another localization project manager and a localization engineer to just ensure the business continuity for all of our internal customers with localization. And while we were learning and going, the next announcement came around the corner, naming we'll not only spin off, we will at the same time then merge with one of our key competitors named LogMeIn. And that triggered more or less a broader thinking about how localization should look like in the future. Because we quickly figured out that the other team at LogMeIn, they were pretty much operating under the same principles like we are. And we pretty much felt the same pain of always being an afterthought at the end of any planning, of any global launch, taking all the burden of doing the last minute translations to get that thing out of the door. And this mainly triggered the desire to change how we are operating.
And what was that the only thing sort of behind the decision to grow and evolve the localization team, or was there a sort of strategic rationale for developing localization as well?
Yeah, the strategic rationale came out of this trigger. So we had to focus with this upcoming merger. We had to think about how we go forward with the team. Should we just go the straight route, merging the two teams, consolidating them, consolidating tools, vendors, processes, etc., pp. And then just moving ahead with the same mission that we had before, being a translation service provider to our internal stakeholders? Or should we take this window of opportunity that opens at such times to think about what localization could and should be in the future, to bring all the expertise that the team had to the table.
Good. And so you mentioned they're going from an internal service, internal translation service, and evolving into something else. What advice would you have for teams that are looking to evolve from an internal localization service into something more like globalization consulting team?
Yeah, I think the first thing that you need to do is do your homework. First and foremost, think about what you could bring to the table in addition to what you are currently doing. Try to get close to and understand where internationalization strategy is made, and try to bring something to the table. Inform them about things that you know that can help them to improve the strategy in terms of decisions to which markets you should go, which languages you should translate into, and so forth. There's a very broad field that you can tackle, and usually the people that you have on board, they know a lot of things. And then look whether there are any gaps in the business that you could fill in. That usually helps to raise your hand and say, hey, that's something that we can take on, and then you can start to grow and form your strategy. My belief is the strategy is always aligned to what your business is currently doing, and so you need to find the right spots where you can add value.
And what specific localization challenges are you perhaps facing at the moment that your suppliers could and hopefully are helping you to tackle?
Oh yeah, so currently looking forward, we are focusing on mainly 3 fields. One is SEO localization, where we have been looking to see patterns, how that is solved in the industry, but we couldn't really find any patterns. And we are striving to build a SEO localization workflow that goes hand in hand with the optimization of the localized content and the content translation itself, without one or the other jeopardizing the output of each other. And the second field is machine translation. Everybody looks into machine translation since years. There's neural machine translation now on the play with promising results. And we are looking to leverage this technology to scale better, to reduce our costs, and probably to better serve unaided markets, which we don't cover with our localization strategy. And the biggest topic that we are focusing on is localization quality, or quality of what we deliver. And here we are striving to build or do some kind of left shift of the quality. So not assessing the quality at the end when everything is done, but ensuring that quality happens at point of creation of the content. So implementing a strong terminology strategy, and also starting to measure and our own quality to understand where we're at, where our weak points are, and then implement the build, measure, learn loop so that we can continuously measure, monitor, and improve the quality that we deliver.
Thank you, Hartmut.
Thank you.